Do that one dance, baby. That one dance.
Good morning, everyone. This is your future educator, Juvel Jane Timonio, BSN 1 Batch 4. Today, I'm gonna make a video about the three mathematicians and their contributions in this world. And this mathematician will be Isaac Newton, René Descartes, and the last one is Pierre de Fermat. We're going to tackle first Mr. Isaac Newton and his contribution in this world. But let us know him first and who he was before. Sir Isaac Newton was born on January 14, 1643. Newton's work initially started as a way to find the slope at any point on a curve whose slope was constantly varying slope of the tangent line to the curve at any point. He calculated the derivative in order to find the slope. He called this the method of fluxions rather than differentiations. He termed fluxion as the instantaneous rate of change at a point on the curve and fluence as the changing values of x and y. He also established that the opposite of differentiations is integrations, which called the method of fluence. This allowed him to create the first fundamental theorem of calculus. The first fundamental theorem of calculus, which states that if the function is integrated and then differentiated, the original function can be obtained because differentiations and integrations are inverse functions. Sir Isaac Newton not only discovered calculus, but he is also credited for the discovery of the generalized binomial theorem. This theorem describes the algebraic expansion of powers of binomial. He also contributed to the theory of finite differences. He used fractional exponents and coordinate geometry to get solutions to Diophantine equations. He developed a method to finding better approximation to the zeros or roots of function, and he was the first to use infinite powered series. Sir Isaac Newton was truly an amazing mathematician and scientist. He achieved so much of his lifetime, and the amount of discoveries he made can seem almost impossible. He helped make huge advancements in mathematics and created theorems that we still use heavily to this day. So, René Descartes is widely known for his contribution to philosophy. In particular, his development of the idea of the dualism of mind and body, and for his saying, "I think, therefore I am." However, much of the mathematics we use today owes a great debt to Descartes' primary contribution to mathematics was in the development of analytic geometry. Throughout the development of mathematics until Descartes, there was always a divide between algebra and geometry. On the other hand, we had the symbolic and abstract manipulation of numbers and unknown quantities. On the other hand, we have the investigation of shapes and solids. Descartes' analytical geometry unified these two fields. He pioneered the idea of representing the algebraic forms and equations using geometric lines and curves on coordinate planes. His basic ideas are still taught in high school mathematics today, with students learning how to graph an equation like y is equal to 3x plus 5, or an equation like y is equal to x squared minus 4 as a parabola. The last mathematician that I'm going to share to you is Pierre de Fermat. The French mathematician Pierre de Fermat was possibly the most productive mathematician of his era, making many contributions, some of which were to calculus, number theory, and the law of refraction. We will survey those contributions here, paying particularly to his work. Fermat contributed to the development of the calculus through his work on the properties of the curve. He found the areas bounded by these curves through a summation process. His work on this process was an aid to developing the differential of calculus. In addition to his contribution of the calculus, he also contributed the law of refraction and the number theorem. According to his principle, if a ray of light passes from a point A to another point B, being reflected and refracted in any manners during the passage, the path which it must take can be calculated, all its twisting and turnings due to refraction, and all its dodgings back and forth due to refraction, from the single requirement that the time taken to pass from A to B shall be an extreme. Fermat has been called the greatest French mathematician of the 17th century. We have seen his contributions on calculus, number theory, and the law of refraction. Unfortunately, Fermat's influence was not very great because he was reluctant to publish his work. However, he is still remembered as a great mathematician.
Do that one dance, baby. That one dance.